obviously we have some hot topics in the fam this week, and we are going to try and keep this AMA pretty focused on those, just to get it all behind us. So, without further ado, welcome Dan, welcome David. I think you guys are both here. Alex and Noah as well, obviously. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Dive straight in.
Let's just rip that Band-Aid off, shall we?
Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So if anyone hasn't seen it yet, and it only went out maybe an hour ago, on the VeVe blog, we have now collated all of our information on bots, on emulators, scripting, any of those kind of things, in terms of what protections we're using, our policies on restricted and disabled accounts, a bit more information on why these things can take a while for us to go through and process, as well as some of the numbers. So the numbers that really stand out to me, to start, Dan, I think we're now up to 1.9 million active users in the app. That's about right?
That is correct. So the numbers are growing on a daily basis.
That's pretty incredible. And I think you mentioned to me that there was maybe 250,000 accounts or something like that last week alone?
Yeah, maybe between 100 and 200,000, I think.
Yeah, something like that. That's pretty incredible, and obviously increases the competition on every drop. So back to the point, if anyone hasn't seen that article yet, or you would like to review it after this AMA, please do. I'll definitely cop the heat on that we should have had this information amalgamated earlier on, so that everybody knew sort of what we're up against, but also how we treat these things and how those things take place.
And just in case you haven't seen it, it is pinned up top currently now.
Perfect. So, do we want to run through some of the info in that article, team, or are we going to jump straight in? It's probably worthwhile.
Either way.
Yep, either way. So look, I think first and foremost, I mean, people can read this, but let's maybe just differentiate between restricted and disabled accounts. So if an account is restricted for any particular reason, you still have access to everything you've purchased, all your collectibles and some of the features in the app. However, your access to the market and your ability to send gems and collectibles is restricted until we can assess that. Obviously, if you are unequivocally a bot or cheating the system, your account will be disabled. And that there is no time on that. But we do have a section in there so that you can understand what may flag on our systems. So that obviously extends to bots, emulators, auto clickers, basically anything that gives you an inhuman click speed. So I want to just reiterate that, because there are quite a few videos out there suggesting that you use a massage gun and the gesture save feature on iPhones and all these kind of things. But just so that you are aware, that will flag on our system. The second thing to probably take in is just how much, nefarious traffic we block from every drop. So, talking to our CTO, Michael, that's sometimes as high as 30%, even higher. But we do tend to block quite a lot of incoming traffic on drops for that reason. Is that pretty accurate to say, Dan?
Yeah, definitely. There's obviously a lot of bot traffic going on, and our back-end systems are detecting and flagging a lot of them. But I think just before we get into it, Reece, I do want to extend an apology out to the community for anyone who is falsely accused, or what we call a term internally as a false positive. And we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I just, obviously we're doing everything we can on our side to make the system enjoyable and fun. But it is unfortunate that there are these bad actors out there that do end up impacting, our innocent users. And we do have some updates on that coming a bit later.
For sure. And, I think we've put in that article that, to date, I think we've restricted or disabled 300,000 accounts, which is no small number, considering the sort of traffic that comes in. And as you say, we work our hardest to optimize these systems to not flag the incorrect accounts, but it's just part of the game at the moment until we can really tweak that. So just something to take on board there. We've also covered a few common misconceptions in that article as well, team. Just basically addressing the FUD that we see rolling around the community as well. The discussions on dirty gems, and all of those kind of things. We also address capture, which I'm sure we'll address again today. So please check that out when you have time.
Can we quickly define dirty gems?
Sure. Yeah. So we are fully aware that off-app transactions take place. We're not naive to that. And I will reiterate at this point that we do not support those transactions. You run your own risk by doing anything off the platform, and we cannot offer support for that. But we are not naive to it happening. And we are not punishing people for transferring gems around to accounts or anything like that. Obviously, not the easiest thing to track if it's an off-app transaction or if it's a genuine just gem transfer. But we are not just disabling accounts willy-nilly because people are sending gems around. You think that covers it there, Alex?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, cool. It is explained in there as well. What else have we got there? Yeah, look, the other thing that I see a lot of on Twitter especially is these claims that we block people for no reason, which obviously is as far from the truth as it could possibly be. We are in the business of selling products, and disabling accounts for no rhyme or reason doesn't make sense for anyone. So if your account is restricted, or if it does happen to flag as a false positive, it's because something has flagged. There is something that has been identified on our end, rightly or wrongly, that has kind of created that situation. And obviously we have the support portal to work through those tickets as quickly as possible. Yeah, I think that probably sums that up as quickly as
just on Reece, with the restricted accounts and the false positives, we have been working very hard internally to really streamline that process as much as we can. I know there have been users out there that have had their accounts restricted for some time, and again, we really do apologize for that. We have systems in place now to really help us identify whether you are a bot or whether you are, potentially a false positive. So we will, you can expect that if your account does end up getting flagged for whatever reason, that the wait times will be significantly shorter now to get your account back to normal.
Yeah. And look, I think it's probably important to just mention, and I'm sure people understand this, but when we do this wave of bot banning, and there are false positives, every bot account also then goes and creates scripts, sends us the same ticket 1,001 times. So dissecting the genuinely affected accounts from the scam accounts isn't a small feat. And obviously those things do create quite a bit of lead time in responding. But as you mentioned, Dan, we are forever refining this system to cut down on those wait times and the reasons.